What did Performance TV find inside these gates in Houston, Texas? The secrets of dustless blasting. Meanwhile, back at the Borla studio, we delve into the differences in diesel performance delivered via a fuel pump exchange. All that and more next.
Hey, welcome to this week's Performance TV. You know, we have so much coming up that we're going to be doing here in the studio. But first, what do you say we head down and visit with our friends at MMLJ and see what they're up to at Dustless Blasting?
Well, thank you, Kathy. What we're showing you today is the DB150. This is one of the tools that we make. We hadn't talked a lot about the tools, but we'd like to put a lot of more people in control of their own destiny. By having this machine, they're able to strip their own vehicle at their own house just simply by having the DB150 available for stripping their car, removing Bondo, rust, working on their chassis, anything that they need to get done, they can do it themselves in a relatively short period of time. It sure does beat sanding these cars or having it sandblasted or worse than anything else. It's using a chemical stripper. And so with that, you don't have to necessarily wait for the local contractor of your area or somebody to come and do the work for you. You can do it yourself. So as a manufacturer, we took this opportunity to go ahead and make a machine that's designed for you. As we move forward a little bit, we're going to show you the 225. The 225 is a little bit more of a production unit. This unit is used for the guys that are doing more than one or two projects at a time. They might have 3 or 4 cars that they're looking at getting done in a reasonable amount of time for their own customers. So you're a shop, and in that shop, this tool becomes a part of your production. You're able to use this tool for all of the things that you need to do, be it wheels, doors, used parts, cars, Bondo, dust, chassis, anything else that you need to do, but you're going to do it a lot faster. As I said before, this is a production tool. You'll be using about a 185 CFM air compressor at about 125 PSI. That way you can really get after that job, get it done, and get on with the project and do the things you love to do, like putting that beautiful paint job on that car. So as we talk about production and having multiple units, this shop could use this kind of a tool just for everything that you're going to be doing. As we move a little bit forward, we're going to talk about the production tool. Now we start talking about not only cars, but we can add trucks into this thing, larger jobs, and also for those guys that, you know, are part of clubs. They might have a bunch of friends that want their car stripped in addition to your own customers. And so with that, we've developed this tool. It's called the DB500. Now the 500 is a really important tool because it does have a longer duration for blasting. It can do everything that the 225 does, but it runs a lot longer. And so when we talk about doing larger jobs, you don't have to stop as often to fill it. It will also run on that same 185 CFM air compressor at 125 PSI. And so with that said, we're able to do not only your own projects, but now you can invite your friends and other auto enthusiasts in your area. Once they find out you have this machine, they'll be knocking your door down to get this tool. And so this is the segue to our mobile system that I have right behind me. And I have Zach McAllister here that's going to explain a little bit more about that business. So Zach, glad to have you.
Well, just as we're very passionate about the American manufacturing business, we're extremely passionate about the American dream. And so what we're able to do is put people in business for themselves, but not by themselves. And so we manufacture not just the tool itself, but entire marketing programs for people. And you might say, well, what kind of jobs are these people doing? There's plenty more than just cars out there. Every community has residential and light commercial type of jobs. And what's so unique about our systems is their ability to be portable. So unlike before, we weren't able to go out and do the work. We're now able to take a mobile system and get out to that individual and do it just there. So it's the perfect opportunity for a mobile contractor to provide a mobile paint stripping and cleaning service for cars, removing anti-fouling paint from boat bottoms, graffiti, parking lot stripe removal, lawn furniture, cleaning pool tile, problems that plague every single community, and they've never had a wonderful way to go about removing them besides harsh chemicals and dangerous methods.
Man, they always have so much interesting going on at Dustless Blasting. And you know what? We're going to find out a little more about what they're up to right after this here on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by EvapoRust, super safe rust remover. Bug Slide, don't ride without the slide. Infinite Rule, sleek locking design to protect your investment. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Performance TV. As promised, we have more with our friends down in Houston, Texas at Dustless Blasting.
This is one of our turnkey mobile machines that we manufacture right here on the property. It's got everything that an entrepreneur would need for a full day's work. It's got the water tank that's going to be able to supply the water to feed the machine itself, an air compressor that's at least 185 CFM in volume, which is a very industrial size. It's got an air cooler and moisture separator on the machine so that we can create versatility with the tool. Not just use it for blasting, but also run other auxiliary air tools that somebody might need on a job site. And then, of course, you've got the DB500 machine itself that's going to offer an owner-operator an hour of continuous blast time before they'd stop and refill it. Where I'm sitting is just convenient storage. You can put blast hose or, of course, material right on the back of the trailer, or use the toolboxes as dry storage or for carrying other supplies with you. So the next logical question is, how on earth am I going to understand how to operate the equipment, what abrasives to use for what jobs, what air pressure to use, so on and so forth. And so again, technology being what it is, we utilize it to its fullest extent. All of our machines and training videos have both iPhone and Android apps. There's an electronic version that's on our website, as well as printed material that's going to come with each machine. And in the same token, each one of our customers is more than welcome to visit our factory right here in Houston, Texas. We'll take you through the factory. We'll show you how we manufacture the machines. You'll understand exactly how they work. We'll give you the opportunity to run your particular machine and ask any further questions that you do have. This is the perfect size machine for an entrepreneur that's going to be looking to do residential and light commercial type of work. This is going to allow you to go out to a person's property and strip their car, go to a marina and do boat bottom paint removal, go out to a job and, just as we said, go on site and do graffiti removal, line stripe removal, go out and clean people's swimming pool tiles or the sealer that's failing on their pavement. These are things that affect every single community and aren't unique to any one area or part of the country. The one guarantee that we have is that everything is painted and dirty, and that paint is always going to fail. And so there's always going to be a high demand for this type of a service. And so the types of people that get into this business, we have people that are looking to supplement their income, like firefighters, police officers, EMT workers that might have swing shifts, and they do have opportunities to go out and pursue something for themselves. We have people in the oil field that work part of the year and not part of the year that also want to go out and supplement their income. And then we have people that want to have 5 and 6 mobile machines and truly run it as their sole supporting business to provide for them and their families. And so we have fathers and sons, husbands and wife teams, gentlemen that are a little bit later in life and maybe are extreme hobbyists and want to do something that's very much tailored to their own lifestyle, like car restoration. So working for yourself, not by yourself, is something that we're also very passionate about. So the second M in MMLJ actually stands for marketing. And so we have an entire marketing team that's dedicated to personalizing marketing material for these entrepreneurs. And all this marketing material is circled around that logo. So that logo, we have NASCAR race cars, television programs, and awareness, where people might see something and say, hey, this tool is perfect. I don't want to own one, but I would love to have somebody come out and provide that process. We want to make sure that people can find contractors in their individual areas, and the way that we do that is by creating an online presence for people, giving them marketing packages that would include business cards, job quote forms, trifold brochures, professional shirts, that have your business name and our logo on them, so that you've got a completely professional business that's turnkey coming right out of the box. So all you need is just a truck with a 2 5/16 ball hitch, and you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
You know, they always have so many cool and interesting things going on at Dustless Blasting, but you know what? It is time for us to get to work here in the studio, and we'll have lots for you coming up next here on Performance TV.
Welcome to the Evaporust Tip of the Week. You know, David, there's one question we always get. How do you remove rust from a gas tank?
All spring long, we field questions like this. The reason is people put their motorcycles up for the winter, and then when they come out in the spring, their tank is completely rusted. How do you get rid of that rust? Well, the safe and easy way is to use Evaporust rust remover. Pour Evaporust into that tank. If you can fill it all the way up, fantastic. Let it sit in there overnight, drain it back out. Once you've drained it out, rinse that out with water. Once you've got all the water out of it, as much as you can get, take rubbing alcohol, pour that in there, shake it around, and then rinse the rubbing alcohol out with gasoline. Put your motorcycle tank back on your motorcycle and go for a ride. Evaporust is super safe to use. It's non-toxic, it doesn't hurt your skin, it won't hurt your eyes, it's super easy. Here's a tank that we did earlier. You can see we had to cut it in half so you can see it, but this is what it looked like before, and this is what it's going to look like afterwards. So your motorcycle is now primed, ready for a summer of fun.
And like David said, Evaporust is super safe and easy to use. If you get a little on the top of your gas tank, don't worry about the paint, just wipe it away. If you have any other questions, just visit our website at evaporust.com.
Performance TV, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV. We're back in the studio, and you know, diesel trucks are even more popular than ever. So is upgrading them. Check out this grill. But performance, that's really what we're looking for, and Kathy has something that's going to help us accomplish that.
Oh man, do we have lots of choices when it comes to any of your diesels, and that's why we have Glenn here with us today from Engineered Diesel. Glenn, you guys have been around since 2009 and have something for everyone when it comes to diesels.
You bet, we sure do. We carry everything from your fuel injectors, modified fuel injectors, modified fuel injection pumps, turbochargers, custom engines.
We're going to start right off with the injectors. You guys have a complete line for no matter what your diesel truck.
Yes, we have stock replacement injectors up to injectors that'll support 2,500 horse.
You know, well, we have a 2006 Dodge truck in here today with the 6-cylinder Cummins, and one of the problems that folks run into when they do change the injectors, they don't change these, Glenn.
Exactly. That's probably our #1 warranty is the debris coming from the crossfeed tubes.
And just using the stock ones, because they get a lot of crud in there.
They do, especially in the northern climates. Rust is a #1 enemy of your fuel injection system.
So you're going to be spending some time and some money just to do it right to start with, I mean.
Exactly.
And from that, you also have a kit. Now, if folks want to just do the injectors, they can, but it's probably better off to get the kit that even comes with a tool.
Yes, we offer a complete install kit. It comes with all the gaskets, the feed tubes, the injectors, and the tool to remove the feed tubes. Rust is, once again, the problem there.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not a friend to anybody. Okay, so we have the injectors, but we got to get the fuel to them because they are definitely going to be hungry, and you guys have that completely covered.
You bet. We offer several different sizes of improved CP3s, which is the high-pressure pump on a common rail fuel system. Starting off with our improved stock, essentially just allowing the pump to put out more in the higher RPMs, where normally you would fall off with a programmer or small set of injectors. Moving up, we have our 10-millimeter stroker pump, then our 12, and then now our 14-millimeter.
And it just depends on, you know, what you're going to be doing with the truck, what type of horsepower, and what the 14-millimeter supports all the way up to, like, what, 1,350 horse?
That's correct.
Yep, we like
that's
talking
the
about
big daddy.
Yes, we do. And some of the things that you guys have done at Engineered Diesel with the pumps, we may not be able to necessarily see from the outside.
From the outside, they look very similar. You couldn't tell the difference from a stock pump to our 14-millimeter stroker pump. Once you get it on the truck, that's a different story.
Okay, that's what we like to hear. And you know what? We already have one of the really cool pumps on the truck, but we're going to go from a 12
to a 14.
Glenn, can you go ahead and give me a hand with this?
You bet.
What are we going to need first?
Let's start off with a 3/4 inch wrench.
Quarter, here you go. Now, if I'm not a mechanical engineer, can I do this job?
Oh, definitely. This is a job that you can do in your driveway at home.
If I don't like working on my cars, can I have you do it?
You sure can. You can give us a call, schedule an appointment, and we can take care of it for you.
Killer. The double turbos you've got on there, that's a killer little setup there. That's part of your 1,200 products.
You bet.
Your website must be a mile long.
It is, but we spend a lot of time to make it easy to navigate.
So I can just go there and pop in my credit card and order anything I want.
You bet. As long as we have the order by 4 o'clock, it typically ships out the same day.
Oh, same day too. So you actually have a shop where you bolt on the products that you sell. So if anybody knows it's gonna work, it's you.
That's for sure. Everything we sell on our site is products we use every day.
Huh. I like this valve cover too.
Yeah, we have in-house CNC machining. We make all of our parts in-house.
Whoa, so you don't order anything, you make all of your products.
Exactly.
Okay, well we've just about got that out of there maybe?
Just about.
All right, so it shouldn't take too long to get out of there. When we come back, we'll put our new one in. You all stay tuned to Performance TV.
This week, Z-Max Micro Lubricant Minute. Tommy, we spend so much time and effort trying to take care of our vehicles. So why not just do something that just works by itself?
I tell you what, Kathy, a lot of man hours, a lot of turning wrenches to make improvements on your car to make it perform better, make it last longer, make it run good. This is simple. Z-Max is so easy to use. If you can remove the cap of a bottle,
I think I can do that.
you can put it in your vehicle and get all the benefits it has to offer.
All you have to do is pour it in and give it a little time and let it go to work. It penetrates the metal, and that's what it's doing to help protect and make your vehicle run better.
Right, there's a soak-in period, about 700 miles. You're not gonna start your car up, drive down the street and say, wow, it runs better.
Right.
It's gonna take a little time because it has to penetrate the metal. Once it does, you're gonna see improved performance. Let me tell you something else about Simple. I got a convenience pack here. It's fuel and engine treatment. Instead of doing one at a time and go, when was the last time I did that?
Yeah.
Do them both at the same time. One pack, it's got you covered.
Absolutely. And when you think about doing it, every 6 months or 6,000 miles for the engine, and even with putting it in with your fuel to treat the injectors, it's not something you need to do every fill up or anything like that, because it's not an additive. This is something that soaks into the metal. So you only need to do it, again, about every 6,000 miles.
Pretty simple to me.
Oh, absolutely. And for your transmission, how about once a year and keep that baby shifting smooth? You want to find out what Z-Max can do for you? Hop on their website at zmax.com.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. Z-Max, tested, trusted performance. Attitude Performance, stronger, faster, better. And by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener.
Welcome back to Performance TV. We've got our 12mm fuel pump off. We're putting our 14mm fuel pump on. Glenn, when we're sticking that on, what helpful handy hints do I need?
Well, we're going to want to put some grease on this O-ring here so that it'll slide into the housing nicely.
And lining it up's not too tough?
Lining it up can be tough sometimes. You just want to make sure that you push all the wire harness and stuff out of the way. Give you as much room to work with as you can.
So when I'm doing this, do I have any fuel leaking out or anything?
No, you should cap off all your fuel lines as you take them off so that you don't get any dirt in while you're doing the installation.
So when I was helping you there, I pulled off one of the pulleys or something with this little guy. What is this?
That bolts onto the front of the cam and pulls the taper loose on the gear that drives the pump.
So just order that separately when I'm getting my kit from you.
You bet.
Then another thing I noticed is that I took off this. What's this?
That's the cover that goes on the front timing cover to cover the nut that holds the gear on.
And this is just plastic.
It's plastic and they break.
But you made this out of CNC also.
Yep, we CNC'd that out of 6061 aluminum, and you can torque that up without fear of cracking.
Oh, half-inch bolt?
Yep.
Cool. Is any of that stuff metrics, or is that all standard?
Pretty much everything on the newer diesels are metric.
All right. So how's that going?
Oh, she slid in beautiful.
Oh, killer. And the O-ring didn't give you any problems?
Nope, not this time.
We've got the pump all in, and that just slides on some studs, you bolt it on, and then what's next?
Next we torque the nut on the front of the pump.
What are we torquing that down to?
These torque to 65 foot-pounds.
All right. So it's like, what, half an hour, 45 minutes to take out, half hour, 45 minutes to put it back together?
First time, I would say that's pretty close.
Yeah. Then bleeding it, I don't have to do anything special, really?
Just let the lift pump cycle and then crank it over.
Huh, okay. And when I put my hoses back on, I just make sure I don't get any dirt in there, because if I do, then I just ruined my new injector.
Exactly. Cleanliness is very important.
And they are a pretty penny. On my hoses, do I need to put Teflon tape on there or anything like that?
No, you want to install those dry.
Oh, I see, okay.
AN fitting, so it's a tapered. You don't want any kind of sealant or thread locker in there.
Oh, I see. So the Army, Navy threading gets it down tough enough.
Yep.
All right, sounds good. You about done then?
Yeah, we need the access cover and we'll be all set.
Access cover right here. Just a second, Kathy, and we're going to have you prime that up. As soon as we get fingers out of the way, make sure we can count to 10. You don't torque that cover down to any ratchet.
Just snug it with a end wrench.
And the same thing for all the hoses.
Yep.
Just nice and tight, but nothing crazy. We need a 1/2 inch for that?
Yes.
That 13 millimeter work for us? Oh, you got it already, okay. All prepared. How many of those guys you sell? How many people you break these things?
Quite a bit.
Yeah, plastic, what are you gonna do? We all set?
We're all set, Kathy.
Hang on. All right, well, you can see that's a pretty easy install. If you want to find out more, you go to engineered-diesel.com and take a look at the 1,200 products you need for your diesel truck. That's all the time we got for this week. We'll see you next week on Performance TV.